Hello and welcome to this short demonstration on how to use the art aspects of Flash. The dumb intro. Alright, first off, this is what your program will probably look like when you get it. If you have a different version of Flash, it might be a little bit different, but it should be roughly about this. And that looks pretty daunting to somebody who's never seen it before. Oh, what's all this stuff do? It's a bunch of garbage. Well, first of all, if you have one called Project, we don't need that. What about motion presets? We don't need that. Library, we do need. We'll put that right up here with properties. Okay. Color. Yeah, let's hold on to that. And we'll put it down here. There's a good spot for color. Swatches, we don't need. Delete. Sorry, that's my computer. Align. Sure, we'll keep that. Transform. No. Info. No. No, we don't need any of that. Good. Gone. Easy. We'll align down here with color. We'll use these tools later. Yeah. Motion editor. We don't need that either. We're making it much simpler. I'm going to put the timeline down at the bottom. That's where I like to have it. There. And these are the tools. I'm sure if you've used MS Paint, you're familiar with most of them. You might not have all of these, and if you don't have them, then don't worry about it, because they're not the ones we're going to be using anyway. So now we have our scene set up. Just for a heads up, see, for you, if you go into properties, it'll say size something like 500 by 400 or something stupid like that. You can go into the settings here and change that. I have it set to 1280 pixels by 720 pixels, and that's a good, like, high definition size, but that's for, if you're going to be making a video or whatever. It doesn't really matter if you're making art what the size of the frame is, because it'll just say, for example, we draw this, it'll just export like that's, about that much, or it'll be, yeah, right to the edges like that. Whatever. Let's get to explaining how to use the meme. All right. So first we have first tool, the most important tool, arguably, is the brush tool. I always like to use it on a size higher than 1 or 2, because 1 is shit. You can't use it for anything. 2 is still a little bit unreliable, but if you go into 3, you want to just zoom in, Control plus, got it 200%. We can draw a nice shape. Look at that bean. All right, well, I wanted to draw a circle, but that's not very circular. Let's fix that. So we go over to straighten. Ta-da! Well, it's an oval. We can fix that with the free transform tool. There we go. And back to the selection tool. Perfect circle. Alright, maybe we want it to be an eye. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now we're going to be using the line tool. And we're going to draw from here to here, here to here, up here to here, there, there, there. And now we're going to pick a color. So let's go with, let's go with blue. Nice Aryan piercing blue. That's no good. Hang on. Yeah, if you want to select the color, just click on this square over here. There. Now we don't need these black lines, so what we're going to do is we're going to draw a strike through that one, and a strike up there, connect them all, and then double click. Gone. Easy peasy. And we need, hang on, let's use the circle tool over here, oval tool. Alright. Something like that. That'll work. And now to complete it, we'll add a little bit of shade. So we'll draw a line there, and why not? That'll work. And I suppose we'll do negative shade as well. Sorry if you can hear voices out there. My sister has friends over, which is annoying, but whatever. Nothing I can do about it. Now we have our iris, and we can go select it all, press F8 and we can convert it to a symbol. So we can make a graphic there, and we'll call it, we'll just call it pupil, even though it's technically not a pupil. But we can go over here into the library and drag out a second one. Ta-da! And now that's one way to do it. You don't have to use all that. You don't have to make it into a symbol or anything. But see, once you have a symbol, you can actually draw over it, and whatever you draw will go behind it. If you don't like that, if you want to be able to draw over top of a symbol, create a new layer. And now we can make some really cartoony eyelids. You know, he's squinting. He's like, oh, I don't know if I trust what you're saying. Yeah, there. This is going to be really weird. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of screwing around. Now, the space in between his eyes there, we'll have to actually go back to this layer, and maybe we'll just, hang on. We'll just draw a circle like this. What am I doing? I'm doing that. Ta-da. It's shit, but, you know. And now you can move that around. Whoop. In fact, we should probably, if we want to make it more realistic, I don't need that. Make it a little bit smaller. Hit realism, as if I'm concerned about that. And now, we'll make some eyes for the pupils to go in. And now we can control where he looks. How nice is that? Now we can actually control the angles, because this is a vectored image, so we're not working with any pixels here in the file. We can zoom in and it'll just get more and more simple. You won't get any edges of any pixels. You can control the shape like that. You can really get very specific control. Like this is control over strokes and the shape of strokes that you really can't get in almost any other program. To the point where even at like the microscopic level, see this? You can really make it perfect. Yeah, look at that. And so on and so forth. This isn't important. Yeah. But, you know, there's just a little example. Well, let's say there's something, you know, we have like stuff going up here and up behind on this layer here. Yeah, up behind, and we're working on that, but we can't really see it. We can just click the eye there. Oh, now we can see what we're working with. We can give him a little secret mustache, but nobody has to know. Bring it back. Oh, it's gone. Good. We don't need anyone to know about the secret mustache. What we do need to know about is his amazing smile. Now, I know that the line thickness for the eyes is really inconsistent, and that's just because I have no foresight on what I'm doing, just screwing around, basically. Keep in mind, if you, for example, click this once, gets nice, click it again, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it doesn't. A third time it'll get a little bit more vague. Here, I'll do a better example over here. We'll draw a stick man. Not really a stick man, but like a gingerbread man, I guess. One smooth, that's okay. Two smooths, oh, that's a little bit, it went a little crazy. So what you have to do is undo that, click it again, much better. If you click it again, oop, nope, too bad. Undo it, click, click, undo. So 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I don't know why it works like that, but it does. So there's a little tip for tap. And then if you want to zoom in and keep the line size consistent, of course, you can just make it bigger. There. And now we... There. Tongue. Teeth. Oh, he's having a good time. He's got a... There we go. He's got a gap in his teeth. Why not? And now for the back of his mouth, we're gonna use a radial gradient. And we're gonna select the colors we want. So this end will be the outside, this end will be the inside, and we'll make it a little bit darker on the inside. And a little bit lighter over there. No, wait. A little bit darker over there as well. There. That's better. You know, now you can really see the depth of his face. You can do a lot with the radial gradient. In fact, if you want, you can actually use the radial gradient to shade instead of doing the kind of line-based shading I was doing there. For example, let's make his eyes a little shady eyes. So we're gonna bring this over here. We're gonna cut those for a second. That's better. We'll paste in place. Put them right back where they were left. There. I don't like the lines around the eyes. They're too thin. Gone. It's gone for both of them because they're an object. We double click on it and we can go and edit the basic object, and that means that whatever edit we do to this one, we'll do to the other one as well. See? Now this character is stupid. I don't like it at all. But it's a good example of things you can do. There we go. He's a good guy. He's a funny man. Funny man. And we can also lock the layers, so we can only select the layer that we're working with. Hang on. So we can't select the mouth, can't select the eyes. That way we can just do that. It's really useful when you're doing things like just wanting to select one region of one layer and only edit that. Yeah. Then I guess we can... one other thing you can do is just make this bright red or whatever color stands out the most so that you can see it. And what I'm doing, you'll see what I'm doing in a second. Yeah, just a little sec. Just a little second. Okay. All right. And just like that, we have terrible shading. All vectored. That's the word. Did I say vexel or voxel or something? I don't know. Earlier. The point is, this is a vectored image until you export it, in which case it's going to just be a regular image. Shit, I must have deleted the forehead that was up here. Well, we could just redraw it. No big ooh deal. No big ooh deal. Oh, right. I forgot about that. I don't know why I'm caring so much about these edges. Whatever. Uh, and little back glow. Uh, Good enough. You can hold shift to select multiple things, not control. Don't use control, it won't work. Double click, and voila. An awful picture. Just the worst. Okay. Uh, Now we want to export the image, I suppose. Oh, we should probably save it. I'm gonna delete this afterwards, but we're gonna call it keyboardmash.fla. There we go. And now we're going to export image. We're gonna make it a PNG, so it's a high quality photograph. Look at this photograph. And we're gonna make it 100 dots per inch, nice and easy. And when you have it selected as minimum image area, it's just going to export this guy right here and not the whole frame. And make it smooth and click export. And now we'll go to where I saved it. So it's my videos. And there he is. And the cool thing is, because it's PNG, no background. You can bring it into Photoshop and there won't be any white edges around it. If you want it to be more detailed, like, I don't know, have more pixels, just set the DPI to higher. Of course, it's dots per inch. I guess that's it. If you have any questions, just shoot me a text